Hello, welcome back to the fan team. Jesus, get your words out. The fan team Redzone Monster challenge that me and Barrett have set ourselves. And Barrett, last week, me and you texting back and forth for a while. We nearly nailed it last week.
Yeah, I think that first half of Red Zone, we were like, yeah, we're in the money here. Everything was going to plan. And then it just started to dwindle away as the night went on.
To be honest, there was a pick in there of Mike Davis, which really let us down. I think he scored like 4 points in total. I saw a stat in the week though with Mike Davis again. He's still outsnapped Cordarrelle Patterson at running back, and he's just producing like 4 points. And I saw something the Falcons come out in the week said they want to get him more involved in the offense, and I'm not falling for it again.
No. Today it's a bit of a revenge game, I think, but I'm still not touching him.
No, I can't. I can't get involved in it again. And I mean, Nuke, he had an okay game, but he kind of lets down in a revenge spot as well for the Cardinals against the Texans, didn't he?
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird game, that game, to be honest. Like, it wasn't as like mind blowing as I thought it might be, but yeah, it was a bit of a weird one. But yeah, I expect him to have a bit more. But I don't know if he's like half injured. That's the thing. So he might not be fully fit. And they've got too many weapons as well now, Cardinals. That's the thing.
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of why I was off with. I think I mentioned it last week with Zach Ertz. And all right, Zach Ertz did get. Was it last week he got into the end zone, or the week before? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Now, but
it
was against the Texans. Yeah, because they've given up a touchdown in every game to opposing tight ends. It's just absolute wild stat. But I'm kind of like for season, not so much for fan team. I think you can use him in fan team, but for a season long aspect, I'm a bit off of Zach Ertz because there's too many mouths to feed in that offense.
Yeah.
Do you like AJ Green moving forward? Though I know they're not on this slate today. The Cardinals, they played the showdown, lost their unbeaten record against the Packers. But are you on AJ Green going forward?
Yeah, you have to be.
He's still good.
You forget he was like number one at Bengals, wasn't he, for ages? So
yeah, just the injuries obviously have caught up with him over the years and things like that. But
they're not playing him as much, so I think he's like recovered quite a bit. So he looks a lot fresher than he was.
Yeah, definitely. I've just going to do a few plugs. If you need to sign up to FanTeam, do it now. fanteam.co/NFL. I also did a spreadsheet last night. I spent about 5 hours doing it because I'm useless at spreadsheets. I'm probably the worst person to build a spreadsheet, but I successfully did it, Barrett. So I'm just building this because there's not really a that's the only thing with FanTeam at the minute. There's not really a matchup like you get on DraftKings. It tells you the matchup, what it's like, how good it is, etc. And I know people that use it. So I wanted to build something for FanTeam. I've done that on the side there. I've built my little spreadsheet. So go and check that out. I'm going to be adding to that over next week for the next week's Red Zone Monster. I want to try and get wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 matchups on it. I want to get a bit more in depth with it. I'm going to try and get projections on it as well and ownership. So I want to do a little bit more to it, but it was a spare of the moment thing. I decided to do it last night. I thought it would take me 5 minutes. It took me about 4 hours. So, but go and check it out.
Reach out to some of us.
Yeah, I should, but I am the worst because there's no way you can pull the data from FanTeam either, which I know you can do that on DraftKings. You can pull the data straight onto a spreadsheet, but I also use Google Sheets. So it was every time I pulled the data from DraftKings, it kept putting it into Excel, which I don't have on my computer. And it tells me to pay for it, which I'm not going to pay for because I'm a tight git.
You just have to save it and then copy it across, to be honest.
It won't let me copy it across. Literally, like it goes to Excel. Excel opens. It goes, you must pay for this, and before you can do anything. So, FanTeam have just Leon. Thank you, Leon. Barrett, you've just been added 2 tickets for the Red Zone Monster tonight.
Oh, nice.
So
awesome.
There you go. We're not really going to review what happened in week 6. We kind of said it there. Me and Barrett were let down by Mike Davis mainly, and our awful call of the Chicago Bears defense. But it was looking good. I'd say probably about 8 o'clock last week. Me and you were smiling, looking good.
Yeah. I think we were top 6 or something daft like that. We were like, this is looking healthy. That was me, to be fair, and everything. I was like, everything's going well until 8 o'clock, and then it just went all downhill very fast.
Mate, your AJ Brown call last week, spot on. So
Yeah.
we're having a little preview this week then. So we've got the Bengals and Jets on this game. I mean, I'm just going to run it down quickly. Personally, I'm just all over the Bengals. I don't really want any part of the Jets. Maybe Michael Carter. I think Michael Carter's a value play that you can use, but I don't really want a part of the Jets. Do you?
Yeah. No, not touching it. And after Bengals as well last week, you're just thinking they've got to push on from that, and it's the Jets, so they should take it quite easily. Famous last words all the time, but
Joe Mixon's going to be the chalk on this slate, right? The Jets are awful. I've just got I mean, we've been kind of saying in a couple of groups I'm in, I've got a funny feeling that Samaje Perine is going to come in and vulture touchdowns tonight.
Do you reckon? I don't know if CJ might do it again. He's been on a run, and I think reading like the Titans and against the Jets are pretty terrible. Like they can't really stop him, so he's been banging him in, hasn't he, left, right, and centre.
Well, I can get that stat up for you right now if you want on my spreadsheet that I built. So CJ Uzomah, the Jets are giving up the 25 most fantasy points on the year to tight ends. So, I think you want everything of the Bengals here. And as I say, I think you can use Michael Carter as a value play. But if you're going to use Michael Carter, you then can't use the Bengals defense if you're going to go that route as well. So, I personally wouldn't play it that way, but so we've got the Titans and Colts on this game. I'm quite high on this game for some reason. I've been doing a lot of builds this morning, and I'm quite high on the whole game as a whole.
It's I just get every time I see the Titans, I just get nervous because I just see Derrick Henry, and I don't know which Derrick Henry's going to turn up. That's the worst part of it. So as much as I'm like,
the Colts are very good against the run. They're very good. But they have had a game against Derrick Henry this year, and he did go over 100 yards. But to be fair to the Colts, they made him work for it. It was off 28 attempts, and I don't think any other teams made him work as hard as the Colts did to do it. But I'm of the opinion that I'm going to fade Derrick Henry as much as that will probably burn me. So I'm in a lot of lineups I've been building with a Carson Wentz, Michael Pittman, and AJ Brown ring back. That's my sort of build that I've been doing. The Titans are awful against opposing wide receivers. They're dead last in the NFL to like giving up fantasy points to opposing wide receivers.
All right, fair. I just saw like Derrick Henry last week. Sort of, I played him because I can't not play him. And he didn't do bad, but he didn't do a Derrick Henry week, and that's because he eats so much up of your like allowance. It's just So I'm the same this week. I'm not touched him this week, and I'll probably go for 3 touchdowns, 170 yards or something stupid.
It is a hard week for running backs as well this week. I had a good look for it. I found it quite hard to build with the running backs this week. Next game we got is the Rams and the Texans. We're all over the Rams, right? With Brandon Cooks maybe for the Texans, but even then he's going to get shadowed by Jalen Ramsey in this matchup, surely.
Yeah, I think that, but I also think go back to Mike Davis last night. To be honest, this week it's a bit of revenge as well for Brandon Cooks. I think he might pull out a touchdown maybe. So I'll probably lay up. You've got to lay up Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, just have to, and then it's so hard not to after how they've been performing. And then Brandon Cooks will probably be on the other side. That's my other one.
Yeah, I mean you're all over Darrell Henderson as well. It's a great matchup for Darrell Henderson this week. And as I mentioned earlier, the Texans are goddamn awful against Titans. So I would not be surprised to see Tyler Higbee getting the end zone this week.
Yeah, I've got him as well. To be fair, in one or two, and he's pretty decent value, to be honest.
He's decent value. I did a little value pick before, like a little video before I come on with you, and I'll read it now. So Tyler Higbee at 10.6 million on FanTeam this week. The Texans, as I mentioned earlier, they've allowed a touchdown in every game to opposing tight ends, and they're giving up the 30th most fantasy points on the year to the position. So I think Tyler Higbee could have a nice game here this week.
Yeah, definitely. He'll definitely get a touchdown, I think.
Yeah. I think if you need it, I mentioned it to Lynn, FPL, in midweek. She was after a value play, I believe, under 10 million. And I said Van Jefferson, who was, I think he's about 9.6 million. I only said that because I can't remember the guy who the backup tight end is for the Rams, but he's gone to season-ending injury IR. So when that happened, the Rams moved to that 11 personnel set, and basically Van Jefferson was out there the whole time, seeing target.
Okay.
So I just think it's something to monitor. And if you need a value play this week, I do not hate Van Jefferson.
He's been pretty consistent as well, getting 30 or 40 yards a game, to be fair.
Exactly.
So.
And he's been getting touchdowns as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think if you need a value play and you're desperate, that there's a value option there with Van Jefferson. We'll move on to the next game, the Steelers and the Browns. I've got a funny feeling the Steelers are going to win this quite comfortably. Baker Mayfield's not right, and the Steelers they just don't look good, but they seem to have got on a little bit of they seem to have got a little bit of momentum for me, and I like Deontay Johnson as an under-owned player this week. I don't see a lot of people jumping on Deontay Johnson. The Browns are, again, bottom half of the NFL to the position to opposing wide receivers. They're actually quite good against opposing running backs. So I don't like the Najee, although Najee's seeing an insane amount of touches and targets. Yeah. Again, it's someone you fade at your peril, but I don't really like Najee this week. And again, the value for me, Pat Fryermuth, I'm going to mention him later because I've got another video coming out later for a bet I like, and that's Pat Fryermuth because Eric Ebron's out.
Okay.
So
I wouldn't even gone down there, but
well, he's just someone. The Ben can't chuck it deep. Let's be honest. So yeah. You need these dink and dunks over the top, and I like Pat Fryermuth for that reason. But you on anything in particular in this game on the Brown side? Maybe Odell Beckham's so cheap, but I can't.
I've not touched anything in this game. With Baker not being right.
Yeah,
I think it's just going to be a very low scoring, bit of a boring game, to be honest. I think the Steelers will just sort of kill it a bit. I know Najee Harris isn't going to, with the Browns being good against the running back. I think the clock will just run down quite, even though he's not thinking, they'll just hand it off to him, a few shots to Deontay Johnson, like you say. And I just think it'll just be like a 20-13 game or something, definitely a 14 game. Yeah, it's not much to it. But yeah, I've left this game alone personally.
Yeah, I'm not. The only thing I was remotely interested in was Deontay Johnson, only because I think he'll go under-owned and I think he could have a nice game here. And Pat Fryermuth, again, probably a value pick at best. So we move on to the next game, which is the Eagles and the Lions. I've seen a lot of people tipping the Lions to get their first win this week. I don't see it. I think the Eagles win. Are you into it? I don't know if you saw my little quiz question I put out earlier. Did you know who the wide receiver who's seen the most touches, targets and catches in the fourth quarter on the season is this year? It's in this game. Bear in mind, you've got to think of the quarterback who's getting all the garbage time fantasy points as well.
No.
It's Devontae Smith.
Oh, Smith, yeah.
It's Devontae Smith. And I mentioned it in a few groups earlier with the quarterback. I like Jalen Hurts on this slate because he's the only real quarterback outside of Josh Allen who offers any rushing upside.
Yeah. I think the biggest one's going to be Matt Stafford, isn't it, to be fair?
Yeah, I think Matt Stafford will be very high owned on this slate as well. But I'd be interested in Jalen Hurts and maybe a Dallas Goedert, maybe Kenneth Gainwell as well at value. I think that's somebody who's mentioned in my video earlier. The Lions are giving up the 29th most fantasy points to opposing running backs on the season. There's no Miles Sanders, and Kenneth Gainwell gets all the receiving work as well at that position. I think you'll see a bit of Boston Scott sprinkled in. I know some people have called for Jordan Howard to see a couple of touches here and there, but I think Kenneth Gainwell is a nice value this week on FanTeam.
Yeah, and I've gone for in this one Mo Ali Cox in a few lineups. He's been getting touchdowns like the notes. He's just been getting them out here. Am I getting it wrong? Actually, no, I'm getting.
You mean the Colts game?
Colts game, yeah. Sorry, let's do blue and then that's it. Sorry. Yeah, I'm thinking. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll be quiet.
That's all right. It's all good. We're moving on to the next game, and it's your 49ers, Barrett, versus the Chicago Bears. Are we interested in anything outside of Deebo Samuel?
The running back for Chicago, Khalil Herbert. I'm into him. Yeah, Khalil Herbert. Yeah, I'm into him for this one. I know we can stop I think we can stop the run, but he's good, and I think Chicago will play that. It's in Chicago as well, so I'm thinking he's going to do well in this game. And yeah, Deebo, yeah, he's just the only one that's sort of been a threat this year. So yeah, he'll probably get 50, 60 plus yards, I reckon. Maybe a touchdown thrown in. So yeah, I'm into those two plays in a couple of lineups as well.
It's not a great matchup. It's not a great game, is it, really?
No,
I think the 49ers a win. Mind you, saying that it is in Chicago. No, it's in San Francisco as well. So
yeah,
that's an early kickoff, actually, for a West Coast game.
Yeah, it's strange. I thought it was in Chicago. I read it as Chicago. Have I got it wrong? That's why it's at 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Oh, no, 49ers.
Bears, isn't it? Yeah, I'm sure that's why it's 6 o'clock.
It's my mistake. I'm reading it wrong. It's my mistake.
We're both not drinking and we're making mistakes. We need to get back on it.
Yeah, definitely. Next game, I think a lot of people have flocked to this game, the Panthers and the Falcons.
It's a bit of a strange lineup after the Panthers, when we saw them a couple of weeks ago in London, like we watched them on Redzone, and then last week they were just horrendous.
Yeah.
And this week's a bit of a different, I don't know. But I'm on the Falcons, I think, on this. I like a few of the matchups on that one. So yeah, Falcons for me, this game.
I think the Falcons. I actually think the Panthers get right this week. I think the Panthers win it. But I see a lot of people will flock to the game. The quarterbacks are of great value of Sam Darnold and Matt Ryan. If you want to go there, I don't. If I was going to play one of the two, I'd probably play Sam Darnold over Matt Ryan. I just don't trust the Falcons O-line. I just think Sam Darnold's got a bit more to work with in Carolina, especially with DJ Moore. So that would be a stack of mine that I would do. In particular, I mentioned Robbie Anderson on my value picks earlier. The guy, I know he's not getting it done, but he's seeing 7 targets on average per game. Sooner or later, that guy is going to go nuts and break a slate on DFS.
Yeah, he was pretty much my go-to player last year in a lot of DFS, and this year I went for him couple and he's just not done it. But like I say, if there's any time now, he'll hit one and that'll be it.
Yeah,
it'll be DJ Moore for like 20 yards and it'll be Robbie Anderson for like 110 and 2 touchdowns or something stupid. Especially with a deep shot and everything, I think that's going to come off at one point, isn't it?
Well, that's what you need, isn't it? And at the end of the day, it's going to happen, isn't it? The guy's seeing 7 targets per game. You're going to get one of these slates. He will go nuts.
Just picking which week.
Well, I'm on it this week. So against this Falcons defense, I am on it. So we move on to the next game, which is the Dolphins. Sorry, before we move on, we're not touching Mike Davis again, are we, Barrett?
No, he is. If anything, I'm on Patterson. I'm not even thinking about Mike Davis, but I like Patterson, but he's got to a point where he's getting a bit expensive now. So
to be fair, it's not a great matchup either. This against the Panthers, they are very good against the run. The Panthers, so I would not be, even Patterson. I'm wary of this week, even though he gets receiving work. Next game, the Dolphins and the Bills. I can't see anything other than the Bills win. This is in Buffalo as well. It's going to be cold. I think, again, I've mentioned Tua before. He's been given a bad rep. The last 2 games I've seen him play, which one was live in London, I think he's been brilliant. I think they were unlucky to lose last week as well, the Dolphins, against the Falcons. I'm not on anything from Miami's side this week outside of maybe Mike Gesicki, but even then I'm wary. The Bills are a very good unit all around on defense.
Yeah, if it's honest, Bills defense is for me on this one. Like I say, it's in Buffalo. It's cold. I've actually gone for Zach Moss.
I like Zach Moss.
I like him.
Yeah. To be fair, they're on my spreadsheet I've done there of good value this week. Both Buffalo Bills running backs. Sorry, I was trying to get it up there, but then I keep getting this message pop up about antivirus. Yeah, so we won't put that. You've got Zach Moss, who's valued at 11.3 million, and Devin Singletary is 10.3 million. The Dolphins are they rank 27th in most fantasy points given up to opposing running backs. So I can see it this week, but it is picking what one. It's pick your poison there.
It is. And I feel like Zach Moss is due one of those games where I get a couple of touchdowns. If I'll end up being Josh Allen 2 touchdown, I think, or something like that. I don't know. It's a bit of a. It's hard because you've got Josh Allen, you've got Zach Moss, you've got Singletary, you've got basically 3 people who can run it in fairly easily on that team. So, but Zach Moss is the one I've gone for. Josh Allen is a good pick in this game as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
But it's expensive again, I think.
I think that is it for the. That is it for the red zone slate. There's not because the games. So we've got the later games, which obviously we won't really talk about. You got the Patriots and the Chargers and the Jags, the Seahawks, and then you got the football team and the Broncos and the Bucks and the Saints. So that is it really for this slate. Barrett, I think we'll jump as I mentioned. I've got to be a little bit quicker today, guys. Sorry, I'm going out. So Barrett, I think what we'll do is we'll jump into a build and then we'll run down any stacks that we like through the build or any value picks that we like. I've mentioned a few value picks myself that I like. So if you've got any more value picks you like, you just holler at me, mate. But we'll get the build up. There we go. Nice. Let's get it going again, Barrett. Are we gonna?
Let's go. Quarterback, yeah.
You want to start with the quarterback? I personally,
just easier.
I personally want to go with Carson Wentz, but I'm willing to listen to what you want to do here.
Carson. To be fair, yeah, like I said, I think this is where I got my mixture before, and the value pick on this one would be Mo Ali Cox. To be fair, in this one, but yeah, I think Carson Wentz for the value for the money.
It's a good matchup. Titans give up the 24th most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. It's a good matchup.
Yeah. So I like Carson Wentz because the obvious choice is Matt Stafford, but
it's expensive.
You're looking at $5 million more. Yeah. So I think Carson Wentz is, for me, would be the one. If anything, the other one would probably be Joe Burrows, maybe, but then it's an obvious choice because
I think as well. If you do go with Joe Burrow, you can't stack with Joe Mixon. I personally don't like to stack a quarterback and a running back. I don't know if we mentioned that last week, but
yeah,
I don't really. So, I mean, if you're happy to, I would like to go with Carson. He's just been playing lights out as well lately. This is in Indianapolis as well. It's not in Tennessee, so
yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. So we'll go with Wentz. This is going to be inside as well, isn't it? So this will be inside the dome in Indianapolis. Lucas Oil Field. Great memories as a Giants fan. Where do you want to go here? Do you want? So you keep going on about Mo Ali Cox.
Yeah.
Let me
this
just.
Is my It's my.
I'm going to get my spreadsheet up. Obviously, I won't share it on here, but I want to see what the rank is, etc. Oh, this is a bad matchup. The Titans are very good against the opposing Titans, mate.
Yeah, I get it. It's just because of pretty much he's got at least one touchdown a game. That's the thing. So that's it's a bit of a weird theory, but it's my theory, and
I don't hate it. You get a value pick there as well.
Yeah, but to be fair, we can always leave it to the end, and if we need to save some money, we can put him in.
Well, we'll put him in for now, and then we'll see how we want to build it the rest of the way. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Right, so we put him in. Do you want to? Should we go to wide receiver? Do you want to?
Yeah, let's go wide receiver up.
So we got Cooper Kupp, Diggs, and Debo and Chase and AJ Brown. I mean, to be honest, I'm quite happy to do the bring back with AJ, but it's up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell he's fit now. He's getting the targets.
Yeah, exactly.
His Tannehill's pretty much go to. He's built like a brick. That team is just mental. To be fair, you just got him. You've got Derrick Henry, just absolute beast.
Yeah,
like I would not want to be playing against
them. The Colts give up the 23rd most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers anyway, so it's a good matchup. I like the matchup, and I like the.
I mean, he was solid for us last week. To be fair,
yeah, he was. He didn't let us down last week, so I'm happy to go back to the well there. Should we take a look at running back? Because I found it hard to build at running back this week. I really did. I've not. I like Darrell Henderson in that matchup, but then he could also get phased out of that game. If the Rams get up big, you could see some Sonny Michel in that game, couldn't you?
Yeah, and I know you don't like running backs to quarterbacks, but Taylor as well. He's been pretty consistent this year. But I don't know what they are
Yeah,
against Tennessee, are they?
and someone
What's
actually
Tennessee
mentioned
like?
that earlier. He's had back-to-back over 100-yard rushing games. And apparently no Colts running back has done 3 back-to-back 100-yard rushing games for 16 years. So,
Oh,
so he's a play, but the Titans are good against the run. They're 7th.
yeah, fair. I wasn't sure on that, so that's why I wasn't sure to think it. But I just know I've been seeing that stat. It's a bit of a weird one. It's been a bit of a under the radar sort of thing.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it until I saw it somewhere. But
Obviously,
so yeah,
matchups is not everything, but I think it's worth something. It's something worth noting.
yeah. You've got Mixon there that you were mentioning. You got who else?
I worry with Mixon because if the Bengals get up early in that game, P. Ryan could just see stuff and watch a touch. I like Gainwell at the value. I think that's good value for Gainwell at 12.7 against Detroit.
So yeah, it's a bit tough this week on running backs. To be fair, isn't it?
Again, Detroit give up the 29th most fantasy points to opposing running backs. So I like Gainwell at value. I do like DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, I like Swift. To be fair, I was going to say I've got Swift in a few. I think he's.
Should we get Swift in because the Eagles are giving up the 30th most fantasy points to opposing running backs. So we get Swift.
I think he's on a similar sort of like tail level. Like he's been getting like pretty much a touchdown a game and stuff like that, or the yards as well. So yeah, I think Swift.
So we've got Swift in. Do you want to stay here? Do you want to try and get one more running back in? Because I think the play this week is definitely 4 wide receivers with this running back.
Yeah.
Class
I think we can probably go down a bit. What about Hubbard
against Atlanta?
Yeah,
Chuba Hubbard against Atlanta. 25th. They give up the 25th most fantasy points to opposing running backs. I don't hate that call. Yeah, we'll go with Chuba.
Yeah,
we get Chuba in. So we got those guys in. It's a shame Damian Harris is not on this slate because.
Yeah, I'm all over him in like bets.
Yeah, it's a great matchup. You didn't mention your Bills boys there. They're a good value this week, to be fair. But it is pick your poison with them. What one?
Funny, I just forgot if I'm being honest. We've been so concentrated on Nina, just didn't see him down there. So I know I've got them in like bets. I'm not on a look on the fun. Yeah.
Let's get to the wide receiver. I mean, the Jets are actually surprisingly good against opposing wide receivers on the season. I couldn't believe it when I saw the stats yesterday, but they rank like 5th against opposing wide receivers, so they're pretty good. But I kind of want to get Jamar Chase in here.
Yeah, you can't not after.
No.
Yeah.
So we get Chase in. We go with Chase, and then I think that rules us out of the other top 3 now. Definitely with Cooper. I mean, Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, we're over to afford him. I don't know what's CJ saying as well for Bengals.
At tight end. I don't want to do a tight end stack though. I don't want to do 2 tight ends. CJ Uzomah's 8.2 million.
Oh, okay. I was going to say take Mawali out and put him in.
Yeah, but then I want to take Chase out. I don't like doing the stat like that. Wide receivers. Any others that you like here?
I like Brandon Cooks.
You like Brandon Cooks? You're not worried about him getting shadowed by Jalen Ramsey in that game?
Nah, he'll be out for revenge. There's only one to sort of go to. I don't know. You said Jefferson, to be fair. Jefferson has a value pick. I like Beasley as well, to be fair.
Yeah, Beasley's a good value pick, I think, in that game. Should we get Beasley in? Because I think that I'd like a part of the Bills' offense.
Yeah, let's go for it.
And then we'll see what happens. Because I don't know. I don't really want. I want to pay up a bit more at defense this week, I think.
Yeah, I think so. But let's not make that mistake again. I don't know why I think our heads were thinking it's cold in Chicago.
If it wasn't in Chicago, it was in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, so we got that wrong completely again.
We did, yeah.
I thought it was in Chicago for some really random reason.
Yeah, so did I. And we got it completely wrong. Let's get another. So what we got here? We need one more.
What's our budget looking like?
we've got 29.5 million, and we need one more wide receiver because I do not want to play 3 running backs this week, and we need a defense as well. Should we get the defense in and then take a look at what we got left?
Yeah, I think do that. Let's get a decent defense this week.
I like the although I wouldn't want to play that now because we've got DeAndre Swift. I do like the Eagles defense this week against the Lions, but I don't want to play that because we've got DeAndre Swift in this lineup. I mean, your boys, the Niners against Chicago.
No, what are you doing that? Don't know. Yeah.
How about Buffalo versus Miami?
That's well, the one I'd definitely go for.
It's in Buffalo. It's going to be cold. And
it's going to be
cold. Yeah. Tua crapped himself last time he played Buffalo in the playoffs. Do you remember that one?
And there'll be a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah. We'll get Buffalo in, and then we'll see what we got left. So that leaves us with 19.2 million. So we've got quite a nice bit of money left here.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So we could get Diggs. We could get Diggs in, but then we'd have to obviously take out Cole Beasley and then do other stuff. And
what about Debo
against Chicago?
Yeah, he's a go-to guy.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Let me just look at the matchup. The matchup is good. Yeah, Chicago were awful against opposing wide receivers. Opposing wide receivers give up the 28th most fantasy points on the year to opposing wide receivers. I'm happy to go with Debo there. I mean, there's no George Kittle, is there either?
Yeah, I think that's it. You're going to get, again, 60, 70 yards, I reckon, from him. Maybe a touchdown. He's pretty much solid. We've
got 1.2 million left. Did you want to look at anything else, or are you happy with that build?
The only one I'd say is the Mo Ali Cox one, because you threw me off a little bit.
Let's have a look.
Then you don't want to go CJ, because obviously we've got Chase. So Higbee, if we can afford him, but I don't think we can actually.
I don't think we can. Yeah. We can only afford CJ Uzomah, really, and I don't really want to do that because we've got Chase. I'd rather play Chase.
Yeah. So we're better off sticking with that then, I think. I don't think there's going to be anyone else we can sort of get in.
Unless we could see if there was an upgrade at running back over Chuba.
What about Hurst? Hayden Hurst? Hunter Henry's not in this matchup either, is he? Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Got Hayden Hurst, but he's going to get you a touchdown, but he's not going to get you anything else, I don't think.
We can't even get an upgrade at running back. I think we stick with that. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with that, mate.
We've got the stack. We've got the bring back with AJ Brown, Jamar Chase, Cole Beasley. We wanted a part of the Dolphins Bills game. Got Debo in that game as well. Debo Samuel, against the Bears. DeAndre Swift and Chuba, and that Bills defense. I like it. Am I submitting this lineup?
You are submitting it, mate.
Here we go. The lineup is in. We will share that on Twitter. And hopefully me and Barrett will be texting each other come 9 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, it's either going to be like, yeah, this is going amazing, or yeah, we've fucked up on a running back again.
Or it's going to be the tight end and I'm going to be cursing you.
Yeah. It'll be like, if Mo Ali Cox gets a touchdown, mate, I'll be all over it.
Well, you will.
I'm just going to be like, yeah, I've done my job. I've done my job again this week. I got AJ Brown last week. Got Mo Ali Cox this week. Then we're to back to back.
As I say, I like the lineup. We'll share it on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at Jack Humphrey KM. Barrett, where can we find all your work and your bets?
At the NFL Bets UK is where you can find me. I've got my stuff up already for today, organised for once. I think with it being an early kickoff today, not early, but like because the clocks have gone back, it's just like, so I'll just get them done. So I wanted to get them out of the way. But yeah, got a fun afternoon now of sorting out my lineups. Might just copy and paste that one. It looks good. See what happens. Just put it in 4 lineups and see what happens.
I had the same thing. I've still got a couple of DFS lineups to do, mainly on FanTeam actually. So I want to get them done on my train journey up to London shortly. But I have set every other lineup, so I'm spot on this week, and we're getting there. And hopefully, me and Barrett can take it down this week. We were very close last week, and it was one player. I think it was Mike Davis. If we'd used someone else, we would have been up there last week. Yeah,
Mike Davis and the Bears let us down quite a bit last week. But that's NFL. That's how we love it. You don't know sometimes. That's you got to roll the dice.
We will be back next week. And remember, sign up to FanTeam at fanteam.co/NFL. If you haven't, please gamble responsibly. It is a gambling app, as you know. Just don't do anything drastic. Don't put your house on it, please. All right. Have fun. Play properly. And Barrett, we'll be back next week, I hope. And hopefully we've taken it down next week. This week,
Yeah,
sorry.
definitely, mate. Yeah, definitely. I'll see you next week. Enjoy London.
I will, mate. Cheers.